Peace again, family. Part 2 extended of the reading. If you happen to notice, there is a part 1 posted. This is part 2. And if you are coming from Instagram to catch this part 2 extended, then I thank you so much for joining me. Got one card so far, clarifying these energies. Thanks, Spirit. What else would you have us know to clarify these energies? We've got our 6 of Wands. This is the victory that awaits us. If we get through all of this, as we're talking about, discarding what doesn't serve, this release to increase energy, tapping into our initiative, getting things right side up again in regards to us planting these seeds and actually propelling ourselves forth as this fruition comes into abundance, into being. This is the recognition. This is the victory and the sovereignty and the accolades that we give ourselves and that we are going to receive and that we are going to be able to give to others. Limbo energy with the 7 of Cups. We've got limbo energy on the 7 of Cups, and this is because of the various different choices and options that we have at our disposal, and not really being able to focus, not being able to make a choice, not being able to be as discerning as we should be, being a little bit too scattered with our energy. Pretty bird, pretty bird. We've all been there. And this is about our emotions. The cups represent our emotions. So it's not just about being scattered in terms of multiple things and options and people and jobs or whatever it may be. This is about deciphering between all of these running emotions from one moment to the next, from one day to the next. That unsurety of how you feel, of how we feel, of what we want, of what we need, of what we deserve. One day we're sure, one day we're not. Hence the limbo. Hence the scatteredness and feeling a little bit off kilter. A lack of equilibrium. When we go through this alignment with the fire, the purification of transmutation, we might not always know what we want, but we know what we don't want. And it's important to start there. And that's why fire purifying and burning bay leaves and scripts and whatever doesn't serve is so powerful, because it helps remove. When we burn sage, it removes. Start with what you want to be removed, because that is the real step that is needed, because of the space that needs to be made for spirit to be able to place the things that are meant for you. As I always say, my Ori accepts that which is meant for me and rejects that which is not. Ashe. Your higher self knows, your Ori knows, your head knows, your ancestors know, your creator knows. Just make space. That's the initiative. That is the initiative that is missing. And this is why the King of Wands is in the reverse position. Because we're not taking the right steps to make space for what is meant for us. The energy is bogged down. We're carrying too much, and a lot of that which is not even ours. We're carrying a lot of other people's stuff. Start there. Remove other people's stuff. If they're adding a weight, that's what you need to remove. And it's not that you're not meant to carry other people's stuff, but we have to be selective. Even when we think about a burden, even when we think about suffering, one of my favorite Bob Marley quotes is, "The truth is everyone's going to hurt you. You just have to choose the ones worth suffering for." And that's a fact. Because some people will feel more heavy some days. But we get to choose to love them anyway. Especially if we feel love, and sometimes they carry our weight too. There are many definitions for love and love ethic. And I wouldn't say that one is more right than the other because it is very subjective, it is very relative. But in many ways, love is carrying each other, whatever that weight may be from one day to the next. You got the Two of Swords also in limbo position, and that is so much of what we're kind of closing our eyes to, so much of the denial, so much of the blocking of our heart chakra, which is why we've got our Seven of Cups also in the limbo position. The emotions that we're not deciphering, that we're not paying attention to, that we're not addressing. That classic feel it to heal it, face it to replace it. We're not doing enough of that. And that's why it's important to align with hope and that foundation as we go through things and sift through our feelings and pull away and burn away what no longer serves. What makes us feel like closing our heart chakra. We know what environments and people and energies make us feel like we want to close off our emotions or remove them from the cloud of emotions. Process that. And if alchemy and transmutation and purification cannot be had in that environment or that dynamic, then it does need to be removed. Because again, that's when you make space for the what and for the who that's supposed to be taking up that space. That's adding to your life in a positive way. That's making you drop the swords, take the blindfold off, and truly want to see and be seen. Give thanks, Spirit. Tapping in to close out the reading with Lenormand. Would you like to affirm this energy for us? Give thanks, Spirit. The Anchor and the Rider. The Anchor and the Rider gives us a message of solid foundations, of stability, of structure. And when we think about the energy right now, with these Taurus alignments, with Jupiter in Taurus right now, it is about our structure and stability and sanctuary and sovereignty. It is about removing scarcity. And the double meaning of the anchor and the message coming through, the rider brings a message, is on the one hand, we have to think about the people that make us feel anchored in a positive way, that make us feel solid and stable, that give us a solid state of grounding, solid ground that we and the relationship and the environment is standing on, that it's not really quicksand, that it's not shaky ground. We need to start to really process ourselves and our relationships and our states of being, our emotions, to decipher how anchored, how solid they make us feel. And on the other hand, we have to think about the people and the places and the environments and the feelings that make us feel like we're being weighed down in that sense of an anchor. That feel heavy, that feel like a burden, that make us feel unsure and not strong and cold, closing out our hearts and feeling so scattered emotionally, feeling like we're not sure what's going to come to fruition and we don't know what actions to take, and not feeling like we're in alignment with our victory that is necessary and needed, and the hope that is fundamental as a foundation. This notion of the anchor and the message coming through to conclude and affirm this reading is think of the anchor and its double meaning as pros and cons for anything and everyone. The pros would be how you feel anchored in regards to stability with that person, with that place. And then the cons would be how you feel anchored in regards to feeling weighed down and burdened by that person or place. When you write it out, you can see it in black and white. It's important sometimes to have the balance that the anchor also represents in being able to see it clearly. That is what is going to reduce this scattered sense of not knowing how you feel and what you need and what you want and what you deserve and what you desire. Once you see it and it's clear to you, you'll be able to put these people and these places in their proper places. You'll be in control, and the emotions won't feel as scattered anymore because of that as well. You'll be able to make the right choices for yourself without obligation to other, without feeling like you need to carry somebody else's burdens even more than you carry your own, especially if they are not helping you carry your own. You're going to see it, and then you'll be able to purify it and transmute it and transform it. And truly be able to then plant the seeds with surety and with hope. And no more limbo energy, because the fruition is going to be inevitable. And although you still won't be able to see the roots growing before that first bud, you're going to know that it's happening, and you're going to be so in alignment with divine timing that you're going to tell it to take its time, because you know the longer that it takes, the stronger it's going to be. And that strength is going to transfer to you, which is going to automatically bring infinite abundance and automatically put you in the seat of the initiator, taking initiative, inventing, inspiring, fueling, and using that fire in your belly to create and be a muse for the universe. That is purposeful work. Give thanks, Spirit. Purposeful work, y'all. That is what is about this life right now, as it always has been, but we are rising up in a different way these days, and these happenings of the world today, that's just the math. It's just the science, and nature is the original science. So, yeah, trust the science. I'm going to leave you with that. I give thanks to Spirit. I give thanks to the Creator, to our ancestors for coming through in this way. I definitely needed to hear this. I'm going to listen back. I hope this served you. And I will get back to doing this more, because it's purposeful work. I wish you yours, your purposeful work, and I look forward to you sharing it with me personally as well. Much love, family. I was given affirmation, so I'm going to give us an affirmation. And our affirmation is, I have hope in my purposeful work. I have hope in my purposeful work. Don't question hope. There's a lot of things that we can question more than hope. Let's pick our battle, shall we? Ashe. God bless you in the meantime and in between time, lest we forget. Time to get back to natural. Peace.